people are hurt on your watch.
Gentleman's time has expired. I now recognize...
Mr. Chairman, sorry. I ask
Ms.
unanimous consent to enter for the record. One of our colleagues had asked if there was evidence if the so-called Maryland man, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, was MS-13. According to the Attorney General of the United States, she posted that the evidence shows Kilmar Abrego Garcia has repeatedly been identified as a member of MS-13 by a Maryland County Police Gang unit, which I introduced for the record, a reliable confidential informant, ICE officers, an immigration judge agreed, and an appellate board agreed.
Without
So you have, is that a court order? Well, I object.
No, she can put anything she wants in the record. She's not complying to your request, Mr. Goldman.
She asked for unanimous consent.
Okay, so you're objecting to her putting that into the record?
I am objecting subject to a clarification. Is that a court order that establishes that he's a member of MS-13?
What's up, Patriots? Welcome back to the channel where truth is spoken loud, unapologetically, and without censorship. If you're tired of the lies, the gaslighting, and the swamp creatures trying to bury the truth, you've come to the right place. Smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell. Because today, we're diving into what just went down in Congress. And let me tell you, it was a bombshell. All hell broke loose when Marjorie Taylor Greene, one of the few actually doing her job and standing up for the American people, tried to put cold, hard evidence into the record that ties Kilmar Abrego Garcia, yes, the so-called Maryland man, to MS-13. But surprise, surprise, the Democrats lost their minds. Let me walk you through what happened and why this moment matters more than the mainstream media will ever tell you.
An immigration judge agreed that he was MS-13.
For bail purposes.
An appellate board agreed.
Don't misrepresent.
Hold on.
A judge.
Everybody pause. We're going to let one person talk at a time. You ask a question. Answer the question, please.
According to the Attorney General of the United States, she informed the country that an immigration judge agreed that your Maryland man, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, is MS-13. An appellate board agreed. ICE officers
you are misstating
agreed.
what the
reliable
Mr. Goldman,
informant.
the clock is not yours right now. She has the floor. Please continue answering the question.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A Maryland County
She's not answering the question, sir.
No, she's going to answer the question, and then you can object
Can
to
you
her answer.
make sure that she answers the question?
Finish answer. You just said, please finish your answer.
A Maryland County Police Gang unit agreed that he's MS-13. A reliable confidential informant agreed that he's MS-13. ICE officers agreed that he's MS-13. An immigration judge agreed that he's MS-13. An appellate board agreed that Kilmar Abrego Garcia, your Maryland man, is MS-13.
Okay.
I
You have
object.
the floor. What do you want to say?
I object because she is misstating the record and the facts. That is not accurate, and therefore I object to that being introduced. There is no.
Mr.
Sir, can
Chairman?
I explain? You let her go on.
Go ahead.
There is no final court order establishing that he's a member. Maybe he is. So you should put all that evidence before a judge, and if he is MS-13, he should be deported. That's what we're talking about, but you're misstating what all of that evidence is.
No, I think I'm going to make a point here. You basically just read what the Attorney General said, correct?
Yes, sir.
You didn't assert that this was a court order, did you? Did you assert that this was a court order?
I read the Attorney General of the United States.
And you have a right on our committee to submit for unanimous consent or a vote if we want to put it to a vote. This for the record, correct? Is that it?
Yes.
That is correct. Okay,
Mr. Chairman,
she has a right.
Can I review what she is submitting?
No, she can submit something to this committee.
But it matters that she just said she represented exactly what the Attorney General said. She has a document there. I would like to see that document.
Let's make a copy for
see if her
everybody,
representation-
and we'll vote on. I'm going to hold on just a second. We're going to hold. You're calling for the question? We're calling for the question. The clerk, we're going to need to set. Hold on just a second. Brief recess.
Please, let's get this on the historical record.
This is great.
We voted in support.
All right, there's
Mr. Higgins, I'm just asking to see the document.
I have the floor. All right, so we have a motion to vote on the submission of this for the record. That's all that has been stated. And
have a parliamentary inquiry, sir.
Do not interrupt me again. We are on the vote on whether or not this can be entered into the record. A motion has been made, and we will vote on that motion. All of those in
I
favor.
have a parliamentary inquiry before we vote, sir.
Mr. Ranking Member.
It's our request that we object. And in the middle of the objection, you consider a motion, which...
He was done talking about Mr.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. You stopped him from talking.
I just have a parliamentary inquiry.
A parliamentary inquiry. Okay, go ahead. You have the floor.
Is it the procedure of this committee that someone who is making an objection to the admission of evidence cannot review that evidence before we vote on it?
Yeah, the content is irrelevant to the motion, and the motion has been made to vote on the submission for the record.
The content is irrelevant? I mean, that's what I'm objecting to. If she is accurate in what her representation is, I will withdraw my objection. I just need to see the
Somebody
document.
walk the thing over there and let him read it. I mean, get to the bottom of this quickly. We'll hold on your vote, Mr. Ogles.
Mr. Chairman, given that this is a tweet from the Attorney General that is effectively, I believe, consistent with what Ms. Taylor Greene says, I withdraw my objection.
Gentleman withdraws his objection. I now recognize, who's up? Mr. Jimenez for his 5 minutes of questioning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Madam Secretary, for the fine work that you've done. I also want to thank you for approving the members on this side of the aisle, and myself included.
So here's what went down. MTG gets her time, and she tries to enter into congressional record statement that Kilmar Abrego Garcia has been identified repeatedly as a member of MS-13. Now, this isn't something she made up in her basement. No, she cites a Maryland County Police Gang Unit, ICE officers, a reliable, confidential informant, an immigration judge, and even an appellate board. That's 5 independent sources confirming this man's affiliation with one of the most violent and notorious gangs in the Western Hemisphere. And what does Representative Dan Goldman do? He freaks out, starts objecting, says there's no final court order that officially brands this guy as MS-13. Excuse me, since when do local police gang units, IC immigration judges, and federal boards not count? The same people who want to release criminals back onto the streets are now suddenly sticklers for due process? This isn't about fairness. This is about silencing the truth. Goldman and his crew start interrupting, filibustering, derailing the hearing. The chairman has to repeatedly calm everyone down. It becomes crystal clear they don't want this information in the record. Why? Because it exposes a reality they are desperately trying to hide. The border is broken. Dangerous criminals are flooding into our country, and they don't care. But Marjorie? She stood her ground like a true warrior. She calmly repeated the facts. She quoted the U.S. Attorney General's own tweet. She stuck to the evidence. She didn't back down. She didn't scream. She didn't throw a tantrum. She did exactly what a true representative of the people is supposed to do, speak the truth, no matter how uncomfortable it makes the swamp. And eventually, even Goldman had to backtrack. Once he read the Attorney General's tweet and saw that it matched what Greene said, he withdrew his objection. That's right. All that noise, all that drama. And in the end, MTG was right. This wasn't just about entering a document into the record. This was about exposing a culture of cover-up. Think about it. Folks, how many more MS-13 members are slipping through the cracks because the Democrats refuse to take the border seriously? How many more American families have to suffer because illegal alien gang members are treated with more compassion than law-abiding citizens? And when someone tries to shine a light on it, what happens? They get shouted down, disrespected, accused of misrepresenting facts, even when they're reading direct quotes from the highest law enforcement official in the land. The left wants to control the narrative. They want to make it seem like anyone pointing out crime tied to illegal immigration is racist or fear-mongering. But facts are not racist. Reality is not fear-mongering. Let me be clear. If someone has gang ties, if they've been identified by IC, by cops, by judges, they don't belong in this country. Full stop. And the fact that we even have to argue about that in Congress is insane. Marjorie Taylor Greene didn't just win a procedural fight. She made the Democrats show their hand. They're not interested in security. They're not interested in truth. They're interested in optics and deflection and in protecting their narrative even if it costs American lives. So here's my message to MTG. Thank you. Thank you for standing up, for refusing to be silenced, and for putting the facts where they belong, in the record and in front of the American people. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Democrats are trying to cover up the truth about illegal immigration and crime? Should we trust the assessments of our law enforcement and IC officers? And is Marjorie Taylor Greene doing the job we sent her there to do? Drop a comment below. Share this video. Let's make sure people know what really happened in that hearing room. United States stand for truth, stand for America, and stand with those who are fighting back against the lies. Until next time, stay free, stay strong, and God bless.